Hello everyone, welcome back to this tutorial number 2 of our Android game tutorial series. So creating a game for Android series. So right now what we are going to do, we will start working with this main entry class of our application. This class is the main entry point of your application. So we can see it in our Android. So if we go to our Android module, open the src folder, we can see in the Android launcher that it is initializing the same class. Okay, so if you can see it here, so it is initializing the my game, so as new. You can see it here, so you can just double click it, so it will redirect us to the same class, so that is in the core. So we can see it in our core my game. So each of these module, so in Android and desktop module, if we go in the desktop module, it is doing the same thing. It is also initializing the core class my game, which is the main entry class of our application. So it is creating or initializing it as new, and if we double click, we still redirected to the same class. Okay, so this means that this class that is inside the core module is our main entry point of the application. Okay, so this is where we will be start working. So in the core, so what we are going to do will be, instead of implementing the application listener, we will not implement the application listener, because what we are going to do will be, we don't want to override all the method within this application listener, and there is a class that we can extend, so which is the game class. So you can just extend the game class, because game class implements already the application listener, and it overrides all the method from the application listener. Whenever we will extend that game class, then we don't need to implement all the method inside the listener, since game class already implement it by itself. So it is implementing all the methods. So what we're going to do, we need to extend the game, so game from combat logic. So make sure that you will import from GDX game, and we just delete all the attributes, all the fields, the class. So by default, we just want to start from scratch, so I will just delete everything, then we will just delete it. So, or maybe we can just delete and remove. So we can just remove all the method, and let me just optimize the import. Then you can see telling us that you must either declare implement the abstract create. So let's implement that method, create. Now if we double click the game, so game implements application listener. So it means that game is an application listener, and it overrides the method from the application listener. We check application listener. So application listener is an interface, so we can see it here. It is an interface type, and it defines some method. So we can see that we have void create, resize, render, pose, resume, and dispose. So this is an interface. And since game implement that interface, it need to implement those method. But since game is an abstract class, so it is an abstract class, it means that this game will never be instantiated. So this game, we cannot create a new instance of this class, but we can override. And if we are setting the class to abstract, it means that we will not be forced to implement all the methods from the application listener, and all we need, and we can only override the method that we want. So this game class does not override the method create. So if we try to look at the game class, we cannot see that it is overriding the create method. So, and since it does not override the create method, whenever we extend games, we need to override the create method from the application listener, since this class is not an abstract class. But for example, I will just delete that method, so we can see that there is an error and it says game must either be declared abstract or implement abstract method create. Okay, so in application listener, so if I will try to make this as an abstract class, you can see that the error will not be shown. Okay, so but we don't want to do that, because we will use this obtain this since this is the main entry point of our application. So we just need to override the create method, and I will also override the dispose method and delete this dispose method. I will create a logger, so let me just create a logger by and then import the logger from the GDX utils logger. So if you are just wondering how I automatically create the logger by just typing GDX, so if I can test GDX and if I press enter, so it will automatically generate the logger for me. So the thing is that I set it in the live template to this Android Studio. So you can just go to let me just go to the settings if I can. So let me just go to the let me just find, so the configuration. So in the settings, so I think it is in the settings. You can go and click the settings. So you can go to you can search for templates or live templates. So this one you can configure. So let me just expand. So you can see it here that I have created the GTX logger. If you try to click, you can see that I set up the template text. So you can see I type it here instead of typing it over and over again every time I will create the same class, the same logger. So I type the constant field, so with static final logger, and this is just as to set up a template. So okay, so you can set it in the settings. So you can, if you don't know how to do that, so you can just still type private static final logger, so like was new logger. Then what you need to do is you will just pass the name of the class that you want to log. So it is the same thing. So and then logger.debug, so it is the same thing. So okay, so once you already done, so we can we can just declare another attribute. So this will be the sprite bats, and we need the since we need asset manager, so because we will going to use this one to for our resources, so we will initialize and we will initialize it in the create. So bats will be equals so we just initialize bats is new sprite bats. So just initializing the attributes. So manager will be equal to new asset manager without passing any value in the constructor. After that, we will generate a getter for these two fields. So let me just click generate getters and choose sprite bats asset manager. Move this one a little bit down so we can structure our code nicely. After that, so once we already done that, we can set up our logger. So by calling Libgdx that that's it, log level to application log debug. Okay, so we are just setting the application level to log debug. We can also set the log label. Since manager use logger, so we can also set manager to get logger. That's set level to application debug. So this is used to log the resources. If you want to log the resources in the console, so we can know if manager is loading all the resources. So this is useful. So once we already done that, we can then go to the dispose. I will dispose the manager. I will dispose the bats. Then what we are going to do will be, we need to the first we are going to do is we need to create a new package, and we will just call this one config. Inside of this package, we will create a new class. We call this one game config for the configuration of our game, and click OK. We will create a constructor as private because we don't want to initialize this one as new object. So we will just store a constant field within this class. So let's define some constant private static final float. This will be the width, so for the application window so of our game. So let me just define it by 640, and this is in pixels. So this is in pixels. So in pixels, so you can just call this one. You can just write some notes and just copy this one. I will just want to copy, so because I'm lazy to type it again, and change this one to 480. So 480. Now let's go to the desktop. So I will go to my desktop and change the lightweight configuration. So I will just assign config AircrackGui, and then let's cast it to int. We will cast it to int because lightweight configuration use integer, so and we have the float value, so we just cast it as integer. So config that height is equal to cast it to integer. Then we will assign the height. After that, we can so if we are trying to go and we are trying to run this one, we will never so let us just try to run. You can see anything in our screen. So all you can see is the black screen, and that is because when we initialize this one, we can see game uses screen, so we can see it in the game. So when we initialize, we can see only a black screen. So now we go back to our game. So in the next video, guys, so this video is a little bit long now, so we will continue this in the next tutorial. So in the next video, what we are going to do will be we will create our first game object, so in this screen. So I hope to see you in the next video. So thanks for watching. So